Hello everyone, we are from Group 5 and today we are going to present about the mini project of the food package design system for freeze-dried mango. And our group members are 5 of them. One is me, Kaichi, and then SHIN, and then NAJIHA, ADRIANA, and Zulaikha. So I'm going to start presenting my part, which is the food material section. Our product is freeze-dried mango. And my name is Kaichi and my matrix number is 1948049. So for our product, the main raw materials is mango, which it is a food with high commercial value, and it contains high amount of sugar and considerable amount of vitamin C and provitamin A. And for mango, it actually contains more than 80% of water, which makes it highly perishable with limited shelf life. Hence, by producing the snack, we need to reduce the moisture content of the fruit to be between 10% to 20%. By doing so, we can prevent all the bacteria, yeast, mold, or enzymes from spoiling it. And the most of the nutritional value and flavor can be preserved and concentrated. Besides, ripened mango fruit is actually a major source of sugar, which contains 15% of total sugar. Hence, the conventional dried mangoes usually are in flat pieces or thin crisps, which is naturally sweet without any additives and contains residual moisture content of 14 to 18%. For our product, we choose the freeze drying process, which hydration process for the long-term preservation, and freeze drying process is based on the phenomenon of sublimation, which this can minimize the structural changes and preserves the bioactive compounds and flavors of the dried product. And freeze drying process includes 3 main steps, which is product freezing, primary drying, and secondary drying. The suitable thickness of flat slices or thin crisps of the mango is 3 millimeter, and the temperature should be at negative 60 degrees Celsius and at a pressure below 610 Pascal. Why we choose freeze drying process is because the structural changes is minimal, which it does not loses its structure. Besides, the porosity value will be between 84 to 93%. And the color of the mango, which is a yellow color, can be better maintained compared to other traditional dehydration method. And the phenolic compounds will be decreased by 23.19%, which eventually will affect the B-carotene degradation, which causes 26.19% of reduction. Besides, the ascorbic acid content, which is the vitamin C, was preserved in freeze-dried mango because through journals there's proven that freeze drying can maximize ascorbic acid retention. So for my part, the food material section, I found out that through the freeze drying process of the mango, the problem is that the product will be highly hygroscopic, means that if the moisture of the atmosphere or humidity is very high, it will be readily rehydrated. So we need to solve this problem with the packaging, which I've chosen is PET, AL, and PE, which is polyester, and then aluminium and polyethylene laminate. This is because I think that PET, it says that it provides a good barrier to gases and moisture, and also resistance to heat, mineral oils, and solvents and acids. The most important part is the aluminium, which aluminium is a highly effective barrier to the effects of air, temperature, moisture, and chemical attack. So without this layer, it is most probably that the moisture will be readily available at the atmosphere and causing the freeze-dried mango to be rehydrated. And then the next layer is PE, which is flexible, soft, transparent, glossy, and it has high resistance also to moisture, tearing, and chemicals. And for the storage condition and shelf life of our product, the suitable storage condition for the freeze-dried mango are at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, also known as room temperature. And the storage of from journals, it's proven that the storage of dried fruits at a temperature of 25, 35, and 45 for a period of 7 and 12 months can provide satisfactory result as the mass changes were very minor. And the conventional dried mango, with which some they will add sulfite and preservatives, have a shelf life of 6 to 12 months. So our product will have a shelf life of minimum of 6 months, and if it is stored at a condition of 25 degrees Celsius. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is HOOI, and now I'm going to discuss packaging material section. So the suitable packaging for freeze-dried mango is there is a few choices, but at the end we choose stand-up pouch as our packaging choice. And this is the design of stand-up pouch. It will consist of hang hole, tier notch, reservable zipper, window, and gusset. Gusset is to support the pouch and let it to stand up. This packaging is manufactured by multi-layers of barrier materials that have been laminated together to create one continuous sheet. And this barrier will protect and also preserve the contents from environmental elements such as moisture, UV lights, oxygen, and external odor. So for stand-up pouch, it actually consists of 3 layers. These 3 important layers are outer layers, middle layer, and also inner layer. For outer layer, there are a few material that can be chosen to use as the material for outer layer, which are polyethylene, terephthalene, PET, and craft paper. For outer layer, it allows printing of graphics and advertisement, which enables communication to consumer. And most importantly, it will give structural role that protect and cover the internal layers of the pouch. For middle layer, the choices are aluminum foil or metallized film. It is to ensure the content is kept safe and fresh. While for inner layer, there are 2 choices, which is PP and also PE. It is to protect and preserve the quality of the product. So at the end, we chose that PET, aluminum, and PP for the outer layer, middle layer, and also inner layer. This is because the property of PET, it is dimensional stable, resistant to impact, moisture, alcohol, and solvent, and it has low gas permeability, and most importantly, it is approved by Food and Drug Administration, FDA. So this is a suitable material to use as outer layer. For the middle layer, aluminum is chosen as it is permeable to metal barrier, to light, UV rays, water vapors, fat, oxygen, and microorganisms. And this will be the barrier that to protect the inner layer from other outer element. For the inner layer, PP is chosen. It performs moderate in barrier to moisture, gas, and odor, which is not affected by changes in humidity. Just now I have mentioned that PP and PE can be used as the inner layer, right? But from the journal I found, it says that PP will perform better than PE in terms of barrier to moisture, gases, odors, and pest insect. So these are the most suitable material to be used in stand-out pouch. Next, I'm going to discuss about the behavior of packaging material under different conditions. So in sealing process, the stand-out pouch will be sealed, and there will be certain problem that will be happen. For example, there will be wrinkle at the sealing edge. This is because there are too much of solvent, residual solvent in glue ink, agglomeration and evaporation during heating and during sealing and long time of heat sealing. And during sealing process, dried food inside the package is safe, and there is no chemical react within food and packaging material. Lastly, during process of storage and transport, when the product is packed into the stand-up pouch, the stand-up pouch will be packed into the carton box. And there's researchers found that the carton box will have the possibility to exude some toxins, and these toxins is not safe to food product. However, the product is not affected as it is protected by the multi-layer stand-up pouch. Due to the properties of the stand-up pouch, the shelf life of freeze-dried mango will be preserved also, and it is protected along the process of transport to retailer and to consumer. There are two tests that can be conducted to test the stand-up pouch properties. First test is leak test. The purpose is to inspect the seal integrity. We have to make sure that the packaging is sealed properly, and to test the seal integrity, we can use water-based leak detector. This is one of the leak detector that's been used in industrial. Firstly, the stand-up pouch will be put into the water-filled test chamber, as shown as the picture on the right side. And when we close the chamber, the package is pressed below the water surface. So there will be a vacuum generated when air above the water is evacuated. So we can observe, is there any visible bubbles? If there is visible bubbles, which means that the packaging is not sealed properly. And this test is conducted based on the standard ASTM D3078. Next. Another test that can be conducted is puncture resistant test, and it can be tested using the machine, universal testing machine. The specimen has to put under the circular hold, put in the circular holder, and the puncture device holding the probe will be lowered as close as possible to the film specimen without making contact. Then the sample is punctured by a hemispherical probe at rate between 1 and 1000 millimeter per minute to determine the puncture resistance. And this test can be conducted based on the standard ASTM D7192 and also ASTM F2132.
Okay, so I will proceed with the packaging design and appearance section. So my name is ADRIANA SAINTIM. My metric number is 192572. So first of all, in designing the graphic process of our packaging, we have to come up with the problems or identify the problems that we need to solve in graphic designing. So for the problem statement of our graphic design, it include how to design a strong visual expressions, how to create a design that able to compete with the other product designs, and also how to convey the actual message and information straightforwardly to our potential buyers. So it is to help the buyers to get the ideas or the message, what is the benefits of our product without confusing them. So to answer or to solve the problems that mentioned before, we have come out with the objectives for the graphic design, which is to create a packaging that has a foundation for the visual expression that able to attract potential buyers and capable to compete with other products of various brands. It is also to design a packaging that able to convey a clear message and detailed information straightforwardly to the potential buyers. So basically, this is the graphic design process for our packaging, which is the first step is to review the creative briefs or current trends and do research about various brands, various packaging design of various brands. So these steps is actually to help to generate fresh ideas on the overall visuals of the products packaging, and also to help create an update to design, up-to-date design, which can actually fit into the current society trends. The second steps in graphic designs is the drafting and sketching process. So in these steps, it is to help the designers to create the first layout ideas generated from the first steps, which is reviewing creative briefs. And then the next step will be choosing our color palette and font combination that we would like to use in our packaging design. It is to create a monochromatic tone, which will give the depth to the design and create subtle contrast. And then the last step will be the designing itself. So in this step, there are two main softwares that I've used, which is the Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshops. So most of the graphic designers out there usually use these combined softwares, which is one of the best for graphic designs. I also have used the canva.com, which is a free online source for creating pre-combined fonts. So this is the graphic designs of freeze-dried graphic design of our packaging. So our packaging followed our theme, which is the minimal and aesthetic graphic illustration. So designing this packaging appearance, we would like to keep it simple and as well as aesthetic, because right now people are so into aesthetic things. They're such as when they're taking photos, and also they use the filters, and they like to use aesthetic things. So we would like to apply the aesthetic features into our graphic design. So that's why we chose this theme. And even though we keep it minimal, but we also want to create we also created a strong foundation visuals for our packaging design. And then it also have informative and straightforward messages, such as 100% vegan and no added sugar. So this is the front design for the packaging, we must comply with the mandatory features that need to be in the packaging, which include the brand's name and logo, which is Sweet Tree, and this is our logo, and the product label, which is freeze-dried mango, the informative level such as no sugar added and 100% vegan, and also the product quantity. It states how much our product actually contains. And then this is the back designs of our packaging, which include the product descriptions. It describes our company as well as the ingredient that we use, and stated few claims of our product, like using the highest quality of mango, and also we included the certified logos, which is certified logos such as MESTI, HACCP, GMP, Halal, and others. We have also included the expire date and manufacturing date, the nutritional value fact, which is very important for someone who would like to watch their diets, and also the list of ingredients and allergens, so that people actually know what our product contain, and they can be cautious if there are any traces of allergens such as soy or nuts. And then there is the manufacturer's details, such as the the contact number and the emails. And also we have included the social media account, because right now online shopping is boosting, and e-commerce are very advanced, so social media is a platform for us to actually promote our products. And then we have the barcode, which is for scanning the product, and also the QR code. The QR code we included also because nowadays many packaging has included the QR code for people to actually scan the product and then see and to learn more about the products.
Okay, so now for the production system section, I will present it. My name is Zulaikha. My contact number is 192082. Okay, so for the first thing first, I will present about the process flow of the packaging itself. Next. Okay, this is the process flow of our packaging manufacturing. First, we will, as Adriana said, we will design the package first as according to our requirement. And then we will need the film, adhesive, and also the inks. So for the film, we have already decided that we will use the PET, aluminum, and also PP as SHIN presented just now. And then we will move on to the printing section. For the printing, we will use a rotogravure printing machine to print the design on our PET film. And then we will go to inspection. In this inspection, it's crucial to see our product, to see the printing on the film, so that we will not have to like remake or to prevent any flaws on our film, on our packaging. And then after the inspection has cleared, we will go to the adhesive lamination, which we will combine all the films, the three films earlier, the PP, PET, and also the aluminum film. And then we will move on to slating, as we will Slitting is something like we cut the film to desired measurement that we would like. And then we went to the bag making. So in the bag making, there are a lot of processes in there, such as the slit, um, such as like we put the such as we put on the slit open fold, and then we put a gusset. So the gusset, just as Shin explained just now, the gusset is something that will make the pouch to stand up. And then we will put the zipper, as our packaging is a zipper, is a zip seal packaging. And then we will move on to the QC check to check whether the packaging is good to go. And then we will try to do some testings, such as what Shin has explained before. And then after all the QC check is passed, we will go to the filling. So this one is we will fill all the freeze-dried mango according to the amount that we wanted. Then we will have the final product. Next, this is the production output of our freeze-dried mango. This is the amount of production per day. So our freeze-dried mango that we can produce per day is 1,500 kg per batch for one freeze dryer machine. As I look up online, there is one. There is a machine that can produce 1,500 kg per day. And then the total amount of batch is also 1,500 kg per batch. And then the time taken to produce for one batch is like approximately 20 hours plus minus. So like in one day we can only produce one batch. And then the weight of package, individual package, is 20 grams. And for each, so therefore we will have 75,000. 75,000 pouches per day. And then the price for each package is for 10 ringgit. As I look up online, the prices is much or less 10 ringgit. So the total product price for one batch per day is like 750,000 gross. Next. So for the cost consideration, we will consider two for this time, but there are a lot more consideration that we need to do. So first is the machineries. So the total machineries that we have is 7, which are the fruit washing machine, peeler and cutter machine, freeze drying machine, filling or packing machine, printing and lamination machine, and bag making and weighing machine. So the raw material, we have raw mangoes, which we have for 1,500 kilogram. We can have RM 150 ringgit. Okay, next. Okay, this is our list of production equipments that I have already stated before. Next. Yeah, next I will pass to NAJIHA.
Okay, so for the distribution, storage, and quality section, I will explain about it. My name is NAJIHA binti KAMARUDDIN. My metric number is 191992. Next. Okay, so this is for the transportation system. So appropriate transport system must be implemented. Unless control measures are taken during transport, food may become contaminated or reach its destination in an unsuitable consumption condition. So we have to take precaution so that the food remains safe and consumable. So as we all know that freeze-dried mango is solid and dry food, and it has low moisture content. So we only need room temperature delivery truck. There's no need for cold temperature or whatsoever. And then we can also transport it and lump together in bulk to ease the transportation, as it is dry food. And so Freeze-dried fruit enables easier handling at lower cost as due to the fact that reduced bulk and reduced space needed for storage and transportation, and it can be stored at ambient temperatures too. So that's why low cost for the transportation. Next. So for the storage system, the maximum time to store freeze-dried fruits, as the researcher found, it is at room temperature and at dark days is up to 5 years. And then we can store it away from direct sunlight. As sunlight can lead to oxidation that reduce food quality and nutritional value. However, artificial light has no adverse effects, so therefore the storage devices are dark in pitch and use electricity if needed. Another consideration is to assist in food storage is floor contact. A few inches of the ground, the product is best stored to reduce condensation and to facilitate cleansing. Facilitate cleaning. The possibility of harboring rodents is reduced because there are insufficient hiding space. And for space control, the storage areas are vermin-proof. That means doors and windows are screened to prohibit pests from entering the storage areas. Next. Right, so issues on standard pouches. There are not really have a lot of accidents, but there are some issues for it. So firstly, overfilling the pouches. Filling pouches is a critical stage during operation since the pouch must be filled with product at the right level and the product must never reach the area where the seal is filled. It also, so it's important to avoid overfilling because it does not only increase the potential for seal contamination and seal failure, but may also lead to processing due to a larger thickness. And then it is also important to control the air content in the feed pouch, including any inert non-condensable gases such as carbon dioxide. During thermal processing, the residual air content in the pouch can result in excessive stress of the seals and can significantly affect the transfer of heat. Okay. And then there is also another problem which is the opening of the packaging. In a study, that investigate the design of the food packaging relating to the opening of the packaging. For the standard pouches, the results of the study showed that 7.51% stated that the packaging took much time and was difficult to open. And there are customers responded they experienced spillage or wastage of the product while opening this package. So yeah, I think that's it for the issues on standard pouches, and that's it from us. Thank you.